What's up, guys? I'm Jules. Thanks for coming back for yet another weekly update. We've done 220 something of these over, gosh, it's got to be easily over 400 videos in total. Thank you guys, whether you're here for every single video or whether this is your first one. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. And I hope that I hope we have some fun here with some cross stitch. So, got some good stuff to talk about. Got some sad stuff to talk about. We're gonna push that towards a little bit later in the video. We're gonna start the videos like we always start the videos and show progress for the week. So, made some good progress on 2 projects. The same ones that I have been making progress on, but I did a lot more stitching on Rainy Waterloo Place this week. Although I'm not sure how much it's going to really show up because it's still so big. But I did a lot over here specifically. Finished all that stitching up and went down there. And then I filled in some more over here. But I probably got about 400 or 500 stitches done. I would have gotten more done if I hadn't fallen asleep in the middle of doing it. Which we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But there's Rainy Waterloo Place for now. But I got some stuff done. Let's just say that. I got some stuff done. And I was happy about it. But I need to get more stitching done on this piece. I know. And then I did more on... I got about 800-900 stitches done on Empire State Workers. So I know it's kind of the same old, but this is sort of what we're doing. But it's showing up a lot more. You can now see this second guy's legs pop out a lot more. And yeah, their feet are almost in it. So... I came down quite a bit and got more done. I'm pretty happy about that. So this is that famous Empire State Workers cross-stitch piece. So still working, still going to, focus on these 2 guys. We had some ups and we had some downs this week. And part of it does involve cross-stitching, but we actually lost one of our dogs. Well, I shouldn't say lost because that's disingenuous in a sense. One of our dogs passed away this week. Literally Thursday morning. So it was right after the video the other day when I think I did the video and I think everybody ran downstairs. So I did like a whole, Mickey Mouse introduction kind of with everybody. But it was Jelly. And it was Jelly's time for sure. She when my husband came downstairs in the morning, she couldn't stand. She was trying to get into her bed and she just couldn't do it. She was completely out of it, very weak, very pale. And so I took her in and I had to take care of things. And so we're sad in some ways, of course, but I'm really trying to, and I am really thinking about it more as just being very thankful and very happy. She had a very difficult beginning to her life. For those of you who don't know, she actually was born and grew up in Greece and lived in an animal shelter for half of her life at least, and lived there with her. She was brought there as a puppy with her mother, and then when her mother passed away, she stayed in the shelter, and she was pretty much just unadoptable. She was tremendously fearful, did not want to come near anybody, and it wasn't until a woman who was visiting the shelter on vacation. I know there are people who actually go and see animal shelters when they're on vacation just to see sort of what life's like in other countries, and who saw this dog who had lived her whole life in a shelter, had never been in a yard, never lived in a house, never touched grass or anything like that, and shipped her all the way back to the States. And that lady was a client of mine. And I met Jelly probably about 7 years ago, and I was her vet for a couple of years before I actually brought her into my home because that same client wanted to move to Greece and basically work on the animal shelter and the animal abandonment issue full time and like make that her mission. But she really didn't want to take Jelly back all the way across to Greece again. The dog was just scared of her shadow. I mean, scared of everything. And so I was like, yeah, we'll take her in. We've got a pack. We'll bring her in and see how she adjusts, because our dogs just don't care, and they accepted Jelly just fine. In fact, she had 2 big sisters to look up to, and Zuzu and Bailey. Bailey took her under her wing at first, and you could see her basically saying, you know, it's okay, everything's fine, relax, you're fine. And she slowly started coming out of her shell. But even to the end, like when she would get nervous and scared, something would, like a loud noise would upset her, she would go and sit on top of Zuzu. Zuzu would be laying down, and Jelly would just be sitting on her butt, on her butt. And so it was cute. But yeah, no, I mean, she just, you know, she definitely had cancer. We knew that. We knew she had some problems a few months back. We thought we were going to lose her then, and she bounced back, made a really good recovery. But you could tell that something was definitely wrong, and we just waited until she would tell us that she was done, and she was done last Thursday. So the rest of the dogs have acclimated pretty well. I think Zuzu was a little sad that her buddy wasn't around. And it's definitely every time we downsize, it's definitely different. There's a presence that's not there. There's a little bit more space for everybody, and things are just a little different in some ways. So we now have, well, I'd like to say 4 1/4. The 4 are Bailey, Zuzu, Topher, and Doogie, and then the quarter is Binky because she's so small. And but we're good. I am not looking at getting anything else or getting anybody else, bringing anybody else into this family. We're trying to stay more focused on the few that we have. So, but that's what happened this week in the house. So, be happy that Jelly got such an awesome life after a very difficult start. You know, who would have thought, you know, this tiny little scared puppy, scared of the world, born in who knows where in the country of Greece, you know, ends up in Colorado. You know, it's crazy. And she had everything she could possibly wanted, and she was awesome. So anyway, so there's that. And then now I'm going to show you guys, I have 3 new designs up on the shop this week, and I'm kind of excited about it. I want to show you guys. I have a Grayscale Design, and then 2 really pretty, awesome, very colorful ones as well. So I'm going to pause for just a second so I can reposition the camera. Okay, so I actually have 4 patterns to show you, and this one is actually getting ready to go up on the shop here just in a few minutes. I thought I had already put this one up, but I need to get it up tonight. This is called Book Street, and so this is basically like, it kind of looks like a neighborhood of houses, but they're really like a neighborhood of books, and they're all sort of stacked up on each other, but there's little benches and everything, little mini trees and everything. It's definitely long in that way, and horizontal, 394 by 161, but it's beautiful. It's awesome, and I think that some of you guys are going to love the whimsical nature of it and really, really enjoy it. So I don't have more than that right now, but the pattern will be up on the Etsy store, Stitching Jewels Design, here shortly. Next one is called, well, it's basically colorful graffiti tiger, basically. And I say basically a lot, but that's sort of like a tiger coming out of a white print with paint going everywhere. The tiger is 194 by 195, so pretty much a perfect square with a lot of different colors in it. Your color list is here. You can see that on the sheet as well. I want to say that's about 35 to 40 colors or so. It's got to be that many colors in order to look as good as it does, and that's sort of a zoomed in picture of the pattern itself there. The next one, oh man, they're so good. The next one is the Sax Player. I love this one. Now this one is a lot bigger. This one is 298 by 416, but any attempts to kind of try and constrict this baby down, it will not be successful because this needs to be a big, beautiful piece. I'm going to scoot you closer so you can see him. It's awesome. It's awesome. Here we go. So there we go. So 298 by 416. You can see the picture there. It really pops. It's quite an awesome artistic kind of watercolory kind of look to it. When you zoom in, that's kind of the actual stitched view of it. So you can see sort of what it looks like. And then you've got color chart. This one does have a lot of colors. It's closer to about 50, 55 colors for it. I really tried to cut down on the number of colors, the second color page. But honestly, it's like this is a pattern that needs as many colors as it's listed because it's just so awesome. So this is one of your more supersized, your supersized pieces. So I am not cropping you. I'm not going to do that. And then we have my grayscale. I love this grayscale. I actually tried to make this one of my monochromatic pieces, could not get the detail to pop. And I'm sad about the fact that the picture is so shrunken down on this, but this does come out perfectly. It's about 5 colors, and that's it. It is not, I don't, actually, am I redoing? I think I'm redoing this. I think that's why I'm actually getting ready to redo this. So if you want to hold off on purchasing for like a day, I'm going to re-upload this and remove a lot of the gray that's in the sky so you don't have to stitch. There's just a lot of little pixelated gray that's up here. And I'm going to remove a lot of that. So I'm going to keep the bird in there. But this is all like just fine detail. And it's huge. It's 662 by 215. But that's because you're not going to maintain that level of detail if you choose to, there it is. Well, come back. So can you see that? Okay, a bit. So there's your, it's basically like a Venice, I think it's the Rialto Bridge in Venice. And there's gondoliers going through, and the bridge is right through here, and just a lot of it. The pictures aren't terribly great with this one, but this is the stitched view. When you pull out, it looks amazing, but there's a lot of this gray stuff that I'm just going to get out because you don't need to stitch all the gray. You can stitch this on white or a very, very light color, however you want to do it. But I just didn't want to make everybody have to stitch the entire sky because that's just ridiculous. That's way too much. So, but that's another one of the patterns, and so that's pretty much it. I think I was just redoing that. Where's the Sax? Put it back on the Sax guy. So those are some of the newer patterns, and you can find them on the store. But hold on, I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna tell you guys real quick something else. Hold on, stop. So one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys was I got my stitchy chair back. That the good news, bad news. The bad news is that we lost Jelly. Good news is she lived an awesome life. Another piece of good news is I can now use my stitchy chair again. So 3-4 years ago, I had to give up using the Lazy Boy that is in front of the TV up here because every time I'd get in the Lazy Boy, Jelly would try to climb up into my lap and want to sit like on my shoulder like a parrot. And you can't stitch like that. And she would never give up. If I was in a position where she could get on top of me, she wanted to do that. So that just would make her feel better. I would do that occasionally and help her feel better. But for the most part, I was like, kid, I can't do this. So I had to stop stitching in that chair, which was sad because I love to stitch in that chair. It's a lot of fun. And I have stitched Rainy Waterloo Place for a long time. And I stitched the first part of it in that chair. And I really, really enjoyed it. Now, the downside of it is I've also slept a lot this last week. Oh, I'm actually sick. I forgot to tell you guys. If I sound a little stuffy, I totally forgot about that. I've actually been sick for the last 3 days. Not a big deal, kind of cold, like a summer cold. A little stuffy, a little coughy, a little sneezy. Could have been started by allergies. Hard to say. No, I didn't get a COVID test because I do have the vaccine and I'm not that sick. I worked through it because we just got to push through at this point. But I've been sleeping a lot this past week because this has been coming on and I'm just trying to rest. And I started stitching in the chair, Rainy Waterloo Place, and I got about 200 stitches in, and then I zonked for 3 hours. So that's the other problem with the stitchy chair is I think I get in that chair and I'm so relaxed that I end up sleeping. We're going to find out for sure because I get to get back in the chair tonight/tomorrow and stitch some more. So we'll see. But hopefully we'll be making some good stitchy progress because I'm finally back in my favorite stitching chair/napping chair, and we'll see how it goes. So, but I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're getting a lot of stitching done, and I will see you all very soon. And next week, hopefully, we're gonna have another new start. I want to do a new start next week. I've had something in mind for a little bit, but I've been searching through my stuff trying to find my floss that I need for it, and I think I'm just about ready to start. So y'all take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.